Hi, Redneck Richard here, back at it again. Look here. I don't know if you have seen the latest attacks on Bernie Sanders, but God bless, it's annoying, it's exhausting, and I don't know how many videos I can make about this here, man. Check it out. There was a Msnbc, I guess segment, article, something like that, where they were showing the candidates that went to this Iowa steak fryer, stir fryer, or whatever, some kind of fry up in Iowa. I don't know why all the stuff that goes on in Iowa is so important. I mean, yes, I get it. You know, they're, if not the first, I'm pretty sure they're the first, but if they're not the first, they're one of the first ones to go vote. They're one of the first people to get counted. So I get it. We all gotta go to Iowa. Oh, gotta go to Iowa. Gotta go to Iowa. I get it. But I don't know why we gotta go to all these. The Dingleberry Dot Bopper at Iowa and the State Fair Bopper Dollar at Iowa. And we went to the Iowa Chicken Looper and the Papa Tooper. And man, Iowa's fair. Oh, it's just ridiculous. But that's off on another. I mean, you don't ever hear about the Tennessee Turnpike that all the the presidential candidate. Yeah, we were down here at the Tennessee Tunaberry and presidential hopeful Joe Biden's come down here to Tennessee. Nobody come to Tennessee. Oh, let me go. I'm getting off on a tangent. Anyway, they had something showing the presidential candidates, that were at this here steak fryer. I guess that's what it's called. I'm just going to keep saying that whether it's right or not. They're showing all the candidates that are attending the Iowa steak fry, right? Got these little pictures, little circles. In the circles, they got the little heads of the hopefuls, of the candidates, right? They got you Biden, they got you Warren, they got you Buttigieg, they got you who else they got? I don't know, bunch of Beto, Julian. I mean, just God bless. There's too many freaking candidates, and I know why. I mean, that's why the mainstream. That's why the DNC did this year, so that they can break up. Because I don't know if you remember, but Bernie Sanders finished with 49% of the Democratic vote last time. Went from zero name recognition, went from 0% to he closed a 60-point gap. Okay, he went from don't nobody knowing who Bernie Sanders is to almost taking out the biggest political machine that's ever been, the Clintons, the Hillary Clinton, right? Almost took her out if it wasn't for the DNC screwing him over. But I ain't gonna. Maybe I'll do a video on that one day, but I ain't gonna do it today. Anyway, back to what I'm talking about. They got little pictures, little circles, all these Democratic hopefuls, right? Take a wild guess who's not in the picture. You said it. I just heard you. I'm just kidding. I couldn't hear you. I'm making a video. It was Bernie Sanders. Number 2. Should be number 1 because God bless America. What is happening to Joe Biden? He's deteriorating in front of our faces. Good God. And then President Trump just admitted to basically getting another country's help in the next election. And, I mean, God bless Nancy Pelosi, all them leaders in the Democratic Party. I ain't doing nothing about it. You just had the Mueller report come out with 10 separate instances of obstruction of justice. You know, a crime committed by the President of the United States. No big deal. Nah. We'll keep investigating him. We're gonna do an impeachment inquiry. God, there's so many things I'm touching on that I could do a 45,000 minute video on, but I'm just gonna stick to this here. You got the little circles with all the presidents on, all the presidential hopefuls, all the candidates on it. You got your Bidens, your Warrens, your Buttigieg's, your Betos. But no Bernie. Bernie Sanders has consistently at least been number 2 in polls, every one of them has had Bernie Sanders at number twoski. They just overlooked him? What? They just, we forgot. We forgot to put him on a picture. No, man, it's a dang-do conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. God, it makes me angry. It makes me want to fight somebody. Makes no sense for anybody. Okay, here's what don't make no sense. It don't make no sense for nobody to tell me that there ain't no conspiracy trying to stop Bernie Sanders. If you think that, yous are dumb. I'm sorry. I love yous. I ain't got nothing but love for yous. But yous a little dumb in the head. If you can honestly say to yourself, ain't no conspiracy against Bernie Sanders. That's just a Bernie Sanders supporter just upset. No, look at, okay, Washington Post did 16 negative articles on Bernie Sanders in 16 hours. Not 16 days, not any of the other candidates, but 16 negative articles in under 16 hours, slamming, smearing, and just nasty in Bernie Sanders. But ain't no concerted effort to stop Bernie Sanders. It's got Joe Biden, who, I mean, like I say, is literally falling apart in front of our eyes. And this ain't even the first time or the second time this has happened. Every time a man runs for president, he trips off. I mean, it's pathetic. We've got Bernie Sanders, who just surpassed his own record. The first presidential candidate in the history of candidates to reach 1 million individual contributors, individual small dollar contributors, because he don't take no money from nobody, none of them corporations, none of them PACs, none of them dork monies, none of them multinational corporations, definitely none of them fossil fuels or pharmaceuticals or military industrial complex or private prison industrial complex. Not a near one of them. People like me, people like you. Small dollar donations. He's the first candidate in history to ever reach 1 million contributors this early in the race. It's still September. He's already reached 1 million. Did you hear about that in the mainstream media? Or did you hear it from right here in Redneck Richard? And if you heard it from Redneck Richard instead of the mainstream media, there you go. It's a concerted effort, a conspiracy. I hate to use that word because it makes me sound like a loony booty. I mean, I think I do a pretty good job of that myself. But anyway, yeah, it's ridiculous. Here's the presidential candidates. You got your Butins, your Buttigieg's, your Bidens, your Warrens, and we just forgot Bernie Sanders. He's number 2. He was there. It's not like he wasn't there. Oh, God, it gets my red up, man. It makes me angry. A little bit. A little teeny bit. I'm just, man alive. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. God bless. And then you had your, here, I'll just go ahead and make, this is part 2 of this video, alright? Now, there's a CNN article, news segment on YouTube, called, I don't remember what, I was getting ready to pick up my phone and look for it. I don't know what it's called, but it's CNN, Chris Cillizza. Here, I'll look it up on this other phone. Chris Cillizza, he's talking about, what's wrong with Bernie Sanders? Looks like he's stagnant. Looks like he ain't gaining nothing. Looks like he ain't doing nothing. Looks like, looks like he's going, he's falling off. What's wrong with Bernie, man? He just ain't doing no good. Meanwhile, Bernie Sanders just broke that record just a minute ago. I told you about. Just, what's up with you, man? Why aren't you? There you go. Might need a Wi-Fi. Just broke his own record. Just broke Obama's record for reaching 1 million at this time. I'm not saying he ain't never did it. I'm saying he's the first candidate in history to reach 1 million this early in September. Okay, he's got the most diverse coalition of supporters out of all of them. Except for maybe Joe Biden. I'm not 100% positive. Joe Biden might have more. But again, he's tanking. He's done. I mean, like I say, you've got Trump just bribed another foreign president to dig up dirt on his opponent. Where did that happen again? Oh yeah, last time. And since nothing happened to him, since the Democratic leadership are a bunch of losers, yeah, nothing happened to him. Hey, I can get away with crimes. Don't nothing happen to me. I ain't gonna get impeached. Ain't gonna nothing happen to me because I'm above the law. I am a dictator. I think I'm a king. I think that literally nothing can happen to me. But I digress. Let me find this here video for you, because oh God, it makes my red up. I just spit everywhere. Something about Chris Cillizza and him talking about, oh man, what's wrong with Bernie Sanders? He looks like he ain't gaining nothing. Meanwhile, Elizabeth Warren, ain't she rising up? Ain't she doing good? God, there's so many statistics I can just spout off to you about Bernie Sanders that'll just blow your mind. You'll be like, how come I ain't know all that? But I don't have time to do all that because I'm looking for this one video that I done watched. I shared it with my brothers the other day, or yesterday. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just ridiculous the effort that they will go to smear this man. Oh yeah, and then you had another one from Nate Silver tweeted talking about I don't know how much credit you can get Bernie Sanders for having the most diverse coalition of supporters. I mean, heck, he had way more support in 2016. I mean, mind you, there was no other person besides him to go up against Hillary Clinton. It was just him and her. Now there's 25,000 Democratic candidates trying to take him out. And that's what I mean. I know that's why the DNC put them all up there. I guarantee at least a couple of them, like old Amy Cloudbootjar and Pete Buttigieg, I guarantee the DNC put them up there and say, hey, look here, go over there, act like you're something, act like you're progressive, act like you're going to do something, and, okay, Yins is a woman, Yins is a gay man, who else we got? Cory Booker, come on over here, we need us a black man too. Julian Castro, come on over here. It's all identity politics. But none of them are going to offer you nothing. Nothing. They ain't going to do nothing. Little something's around the edges like Joe Biden. They're all the same. So, yeah. It's ridiculous. Here it is. CNN's doofiest propagandist sets record for most dislikes on a YouTube video. Okay? Let's see. It's the most ridiculous thing I ever saw. And if you ain't most dislikes an anti-Bernie Sanders video. If you don't know, follow or go check out Kyle Kalinske on YouTube. He goes by Secular Talk. SECULAR Talk. Secular Talk. It's one of the best shows there is. I'm gonna tell you. I like the Young Turks. I'm sure you've seen me wear one of them shirts. I like a Young Turks. I like a Kyle Kalinske. And I like the Rational National. Type in the Rational National. I like him a lot. He's from Canada, but he does American politics too. But anyway, so here it is. Okay, it's called The Point with Chris Cillizza. It's the dumbest thing you've ever seen. First of all, oh man. First of all, look at this guy. And just look at him. He don't have nothing nefarious. Look at him. He don't have nothing nefarious in his intentions. So, I mean, look at him. And he talking about, oh, man, for a statistical way. He ain't growing his support. He's the first candidate in history to reach 1 million this early in the race, but he ain't growing his support. Oh, golly. Beating his own record, but he ain't growing his support. Yeah, and he talking about, oh, if you want the first person you want to, the first thing you want in a candidate is somebody who's going to beat Donald Trump, and I just don't know if Bernie can do it. He beats Donald Trump in every single poll ever did. Every single one for the last 2 or 3 years. Bernie beats the snot out of Donald Trump in a head-to-head matchup. Donald Trump gets his butt beat belly by Donald Trump. But I digress. Anyway, so yeah, Bernie Sanders ain't growing his support. How is it that in the latest California Emerson poll, Bernie Sanders is tied for first place, but he ain't gaining support? Okay, how about in the latest New Hampshire poll, the Boston Herald, Bernie Sanders is in first. How's he in first, but he ain't gaining support? Okay. Newest Iowa poll from CBS, Bernie Sanders is just 3 percentage points behind Biden. But yeah, he ain't gaining support. You got the latest Nevada poll. Guess what's number one? Guess who's number one? He's a Bernie Sanders. But he ain't gaining support. He ain't nothing. He ain't nothing. Man, Chris Eliza just a smart. He's so smart. Bernie Sanders ain't nothing. Latest South Carolina poll. South Carolina, where all you'll hear is about how Bernie Sanders can't do good with the African Americans. He ain't nothing. I mean, other than the fact that he's second place in the polls, but it ain't nothing. Good God. But you'll never hear that from a Chris Eliza. Why? Because he's a moron, and he's got his own narrative he's trying to push to you. He's got his own little narrative he's trying to push to you, and he's going to say, Bernie Sanders ain't doing. I don't know, man. Bernie Sanders probably ought to just drop out because he ain't doing nothing. He ain't gaining no support. He just ain't nothing. What are you going to do? You're pushing something on people, and you've got your little CNN, backing, so when people see CNN, and then they see the videos you're doing, if people ain't paying attention, like me, then, oh my God, I'm gonna go crazy. They're gonna believe you. So, you know what you're doing. You're pushing this narrative that ain't true, and you're trying to act like Bernie Sanders ain't grew, and you're making me angry till